welcome back to today mathematics class, and today we are going to be dive into this topic, in this interesting topic in mathematics called calculus. Okay, it is one of these topic in mathematics that students are finding difficult, so this is further mathematics. Okay, it's not mathematics, it is further mathematics. So calculus is one of very interesting topic that most of the students are finding difficult to solve question under the calculus. So I welcome in today's mathematics class. I'm Remain your guys, your friend Marky YIDG Andrew, the founder of Macros Technology, where we learn mathematics and we learn the skills. Thank you. Today in this particular video we are going to be diving how to solve question under differentiation function. Okay, we're talking about differentiation. I'm going to take to you in a step by step, okay, how to solve question in a very easy way, the easy code to remember, and a very easy method to solve question under this differentiation. That is what we're going to be we are going to be diving into this lesson. But this will be the first lesson, and the next lesson I'll be explaining more further under this differentiation. This is just to welcome you and let you know that what are the things you're going to be learning under this differentiation, under this calculus. Okay, I have with me one of the material that was given for me from this school here in my state here. In those city here, that is Unimained. I have this question to solve, so the material was just given to me as maths, okay, 001, okay, as math 001. So this is a differentiation function. Okay, I'm going to explain the material. According to this material, I'll be using this material to explain this particular topic. Okay, I'm going to use the material to explain this particular topic, and I'm going to be explaining everything under this material and all the question that was being solved under these materials. And no matter if you stick to the end of this class, you will learn how to solve differentiation in calculus. It is very simple, because I'm going to be share with you the very easy way to solve this question, and very easy that you can read and understand, that if you see any differentiation question, you will be able to solve it in a very fast way and a very easy way. Okay, let's start with this material with me here. I have the first topic here, that is mathematical expression. It is called limiting. Okay, limiting value. Now, let me start with that. Let's start that. We are start for the first. So let me take the pen out. So let's start with the first topic under it. I'm talking about what limiting value. Hope you can say my writing very well. Limiting value. So when you're given a mathematical expression under this limiting value, it explains a portion of a number. If you're given a sequence of a number, this is what how do you limit the particular value. So for example, if the question mathematical expression was given as a function, is being given as y is equal to f of s. If it is something like this, is y is equal to f of s. Okay, is equal to f of s. So if I try to find the limit function of what? Of f of s. So the limit function to be f of s is to be expressed as this s must be tend to a certain number. To get the limit function of this particular expression, this s must approach what? A certain number. Okay, now how do you write this one in a limiting value function? This one to be expressing as equal to, since this value of s to be as let's say that s approaching any certain number. So let's say s approach a what? A. Let's say a is a number. This a represent as a variable. What does it mean by variable? A variable is just like a memory to store a certain number. This a represents a number which we don't know. That is called limit. We want to try to limit the certain. Maybe you're given a sequence from number 1 to 100, number 1 to infinity. So instead of it to be writing 1, 2, 3, 2, 4 to infinity, it will take a lot of time. So we can just limit that particular function. So that means that this particular value of s to be approaching a certain number. So if you have given an expression like this, you want to write this limit function is to be equal to that. It's because as lim, okay, it's called as lim f of what? F of s. So this our s approaching what? S approaching the value of what? Of a. I get now. It approach the value of a. So this a represents a number. It may be 2, it may be 3, it may be 4, it may be 10. It represents what? A certain number. I get done. It represents what? A certain number. Therefore, if you have a limit function of a finite number, therefore can be written as this one, if you put as a limit function, it can also be written as lim of f of what of s. F of s is equal to, so that will be lim of when our s tends to 0 tend to a. Okay, now what will be the solution to this? What do mean this s tend to or approaching towards approaches toward a? That means that anywhere you see the value of s to be equal, everywhere you see the s to be equal towards a. So the approaching we have here, the symbol we have here, that means that the value of s is equal to what a, and a could be any number. I get down. So the solution to this problem is to be equal to, that will give us as a of f of what, f of a. So a number maybe this f here may also represent a certain number where multiplied by the value of s, and the value of s here is what, is a. According this a may be any number. I get down. For better explanation, let me use example I have here. That is example 27.1. Okay, I'll write it out for better understanding about the limit value. So the limiting value. So let's go. Let's move the example. So let me just write the example. Okay, I'll try to write the example out. Okay, example. That is 27.1. That's example 27.1. The question said that you're given that. So I hope you can see my writing very well. So given that, we have a f of s close bracket. F of s is equal to 6s with power of 2. Okay, and we're told to find what? Okay, find the. Okay, we're told to find the limits. We're trying to find the limit. What? Limit of f of s. The limit of f of s as s approach, as s, okay, approach, as s approaches what? 2. As s approach what? 2. This one is 2. As s approach 2. So how do you interpret this? If you see this question, sorry. So how do you solve this? If you're given this question, how do you solve it? That's the question. The question is given that f of s is equal to 6s squared. Find the value of, find the limit function, find the limit of f of s as s approaches what? 2. Now, they're telling you that s here approaching 2, that is what s is equal to 2. This s approach 2, that is the value of s now is equal to 2. That is what they mean. Now, let's solve it now in a very easy way. With what I've explained here, what you just have to do here is to find the limit of this. Okay, to find the limit of this, since our s approaches 0, that is if the value of s is equal to what? Is equal to 2. Now, we just have to put there, anywhere you see s now, we replace by what? As 2. And then anywhere you see s, we replace by what? By 2. So that means that our function f of s is equal to 6s squared. Now the value of s is to be equal to 0, because it's s approach 0, approach 2. So it may be a number, it may be 4, it may be 5, but this question, they say the s approach what? Approach 2. Now you just anywhere you see s, you replace by what? By 2. That is simple. Now this way to be equal to be a lim of, okay, lim of f of s, okay, to be equal to, so it will be equal to this part here. We have our f of s, this f here represent as 6 here. We have 6, okay, we have 6, let me tell you, 6 equal to open bracket, and our s here, since our s approach 2, so this s will be replaced by what? By 2. So therefore we have 2 here, close bracket, and with power of 2. Now this one, our s approaches what? Approach 2. If we put it like this, limit of f of s approach 2, that means what? We have a 6 open bracket, because the value of s, instead of write this as a replaced by this approach 2, this one becomes a 2 raised power of 2. Now, if you should open this bracket first, when I solve a question in front of us open bracket, so when you open this bracket, that is 2 raised power of 2. That will make us as what? As 4. That is 2 times 2. That gives us as 4. So therefore we have 6 what? Multiplied by this bracket is multiplied by this one. So multiply by 4. I get down, that is 6 multiplied by 4. Now if you multiply it now, 6 times 4, that will give us as 24. I get down, it gives us 24. Okay, it will get 24. So that means that when you have this expression here, when you have this expression, the answer is to be equal to what? 24. That's as simple as that. That is how you solve this question. Hope you get it. That is how I saw this question. Okay, let me explain one more example before we call it a day for this particular video, because I don't want I want to try to make the length more short so you can watch it again for better understanding. So let's look at the second example. So let's look at the second example. So let me try to create more space there so you can dive into the second example. So that should be example 2. So this is example, okay, now this is example 27.2. According to the material using, we have example 27.2. So this example says that we should given that, okay, given that we have a f of s, okay, f of s is equal to s squared, okay, minus 4 s, okay, plus 3. And first off, find the value, okay, we have to find the limit. You have to find the limit, okay, find the limit of, okay, f of s as s approaches minus 1. As s approaches minus 1, so we're given this function to find the to given that f of s is equal to s raised power of 2 minus s raised power of 2. Sorry, it's s raised power of 3. Let me correct it. It's s raised power of 3. The question is s raised power of 3 minus 4s plus 3. Find the value or find the limits of f of s as s approaches what? Minus 1. Is it the same thing I explained here? This question is very simple. Limiting function is quite very simple. It's just like your substitute for replace as s. No matter if you're given a question, just take note and you are substituting the value of s. Now, so let's go to this. Let's see how we can solve this problem. Okay, let's look at the solution to it. Okay, let's get the solution to it. So in this place, we say that our s approaches what? As limit of f of s as s approaches what? Minus 1. So that means that our s, okay, tend to minus 1. That means s is equal to minus 1. So let's write the function that is what f of s, okay, is equal to like s raised power 3, okay, minus 4s, okay, plus 3. I get down. So we have s raised power 1. According to the given question, that's s raised power 3 minus 4s plus 3. Now, to get the limit of this function when this s tends to 0, that means that our lim, okay, lim of s tends to minus 1. Of s tends to minus 1, that is f of what? Of s to be equal to. Now let's replace this one. This s is called, instead of I can also write as minus 1 here. Okay, I can also put this one as minus 1 since our s is tend to minus 1. This can also be written as minus 1 here. Okay, so therefore, anywhere you see s now, replace by minus 1. Here we have 3, s is power 3, that be minus 1. Okay, we put in brackets is power of 3. Okay, minus, we have 4 open bracket, because 4 is multiplied by s, I have to put a minus 1 here equal to, because s is equal to minus 1, and that is why I replace 1 by minus 1 here, plus what? Plus 3. So this 3 does not have does not attach to s, so that is why it is equivalent to this part. Okay, that is why I don't multiply by minus 1 rather. Now let's do the simple mathematics here. Now 3 minus s minus 1 multiplied by this power of 3, that is minus 1 times minus 1 times minus 1, that will give us minus 1. So therefore this one give us minus 1. Okay, minus, now 4 times minus 4 times, take note of something here. We can do the mistake if you're dealing with sign. If you don't know how to use sign, you can make the mistake here. What you just want to use the minus 4 to open this bracket. So mean that minus 4 times minus 1. So minus times minus, that will give us what? I give us plus. Now 4 times 1 will give us 4. So that means that we have plus 4 here, because minus times minus will give us what? Plus. So 4 times 1 we have 4. Now plus what? Plus 3. I get that. Now if you add it together, here we have minus 1 plus 4, that give us as what? We give us as 3. Again, 3 plus 3 will give us 6, so therefore we have 6. So means that the given question here, we have to find, given that the f of s is equal to s to the power of 3 minus 4s plus 3, the value of the limit function as s approaches minus 1 is equal to 6. Is equal to 6. That is as simple as that. You can see how simple is this question, and that is how you solve question under limiting function under differentiation. I hope you get it. So let's move to the next part where we dive more example under this particular topic, differentiation and under the limiting function. Because of the length of this video, let's meet in the next class. Thank you.